Folks, welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange, Bell's Corners edition on this fine October 7th. And as we can tell, the weather is starting to shift from summer to, hey, we're into fall. Hey, go out there and take a drive and get those leaves in while they're changing color if they haven't done so already. I'm going to start off with sharing a screen of our Phoenix website. And if you're looking in from the outside world, it's pbex.ca. So feel free to come on in and be a part of the community. I'll show you how to log in and get into the Zoom account that we're currently using. So I'm going to scroll this down and say, hey, who is the member of the week? Well, that's Shane Bayless. And Shane is a chiropractor. He does things to help you recover from concussions, sprains, strains, and other things, but doesn't do drains. Sorry, bad pun. And so to connect in with us this morning, just click this red line here. It says Monday morning, 8 to 9 Eastern, Bell's Corners. Click here. And we have a Wednesday morning group, which is sorry, someone's just coming in. That's Shane. Wednesday morning, that's the East End. Come on in and click there on Wednesday, 8 to 9. And then Thursday, same thing for the South End group. So November 5th is when we're actually having our monthly meeting for the goal setting. And that's at 7 p.m. Eastern. Penny Lee's the person hosting that particular event. She'll help keep you on track. East Trade Winds, we're meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern, free to all people coming in that are wanting to do business. Meditation, if you're having a rough week, and that's a good time to have just a point at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, where you can just get, Tony gets a free meditation going, and just kind of brings you into a relaxed state. Then we have Penny Lee's, she's got the NIA classes moving, and helps keep your body lubricated, so to speak. Also, October 11th, Friday, so coming up this week at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, in person, not a Zoom call. She has a potluck dinner on the go. Click on there and let Penny Lee know that you're inbound. So on October 9th, oh, that's this week, in-person meeting at Biggs. So this Wednesday, East End, no Zoom.
Yep.
Okay. Biggs, October 9th, 7:30 a.m. South End Group is meeting on the 24th to do the same thing at 7:30. And in fact, at that particular event, 9:30, we'll be also doing a demo for the C100 from McLean Shield. I'll talk more about that later on. Bell's Corners meeting is on October 28th at 7:30 a.m. And that's again in person at High Fives. You'll see something over here on the right-hand side, 7,277 clients, e-cards. That means if you look over my shoulder, you see a QR code. What that's all about is a quick and easy way for people to tap into your information, store it on their phone. So email, phone, every different way you can get a hold of you, LinkedIn profile, the whole 9 yards, it's in there. It's easily captured, makes it a little less cumbersome to load in information. You want to become a member? Click here, apply today, and just fire it up. And the QR code's in there too, so you can also make it quick and easy to check in. And you just use your phone, your camera on your phone to connect in. $4.7 million worth of business since 2016 was done between members. And our current update is $140,105 worth of business conducted year to date between members, not between the referrals that we've given to other people outside of our group. And that's kind of the nature and the purpose of Phoenix, is to help you grow your business and communicate, also to practice things. I'm going to stop share, and you know what? We're going to need we'll need someone to give us that educational minute. And I see a finger pointing to the sky. And if the heavens come booming down, this is going to be through Tony. Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Recently I had a client that came to me and they said, I've done so many things wrong in my life, and then starts listing it, all the things that has happened. And it was interesting what came out of all of that. In our discussion, it seemed like every milestone that they went through, sometimes a milestone is very positive, like, getting a diploma for 4 years of hard studying, or you get a designation, like Lana has so many great things that she has done in her profession. She can show pictures and various certificates on the wall of all of the accomplishments that she's done. But when we look at all the things that we have done and that didn't go right, when you look at it, something came and it was something good. It ended up something good came out. It reminds me of how nature works as well. If you take milk and it goes bad, like it doesn't work, it turns into yogurt, and yogurt is more valuable than milk, right? And if you take yogurt and then it goes bad, and it goes through its process, it turns into cheese, which is more valuable than the yogurt. So, in other words, even in nature, there are various things that happen that when things don't quite go your way and it goes bad, you become more valuable. I mean, look at grape juice. What happens when grape juice goes bad? It turns into wine, and that's even more valuable than the cheese. That's why they come together. The wine and cheese, when you go, those are the two most valuable products of its line, right? So when we look at the various things that you're working on and it doesn't work right and things go sort of bad, so that's the description that many people use. It doesn't go bad, it starts to ferment. When something ferments, it always gets better. When something it gets to a point where we looking at the various things in our lives that all the mistakes that we might have made. I heard a quote a number of weeks ago, and it said, "If you could go back in time and fix all your mistakes, you would erase yourself." That's who you are. You are all of the product of experience that has happened in the past. Whether it's in business or family or the things you've done for yourself, the mistakes were critical to keep you focused and make you a better person. Because look at it this way. I mean, we all are looking for an ideal life, right? Everything goes our way. We get all the green lights. And, there are some people that get that all the time. But believe it or not, it's not something that we inherently want. We do want struggle. We do want something that could push us to the point where we are in a certain place and that we don't like, and we are manifesting various things to get us out of it so that we do get the green lights. So now, with all the red lights that I've received, like there were some days where I think I hit every green light in Ottawa. I had to go down baseline, and literally I think we hit every green light, every red light going. And I kept saying, rather than saying getting frustrated and say, how come I'm getting all these red lights? And all I was getting was, on the days that you get your green lights, you'll be appreciative that you'll just be able to walk all the way through. And that's happened, that I hit every green light, and all I had to do was just keep going. And these are the milestones in your life of appreciation, of gratitude. When you get the things that are happening, it's wonderful. How many times has a young person said something to you, and they just don't know much about life. They're just starting, and you could say it's okay. Or they get let's say a girlfriend or a boyfriend at a young age, and they're amazing, and they're not treating them very well. Well, that's appreciation. When you've done something so diabolical where they end up leaving, it's only after you realize that, yeah, they were such a really good person. I don't know why I didn't see it. So the appreciation part of it comes when you struggle, when you are milk and you turn into cheese, when you are this grape juice and you turn into something more valuable. So be grateful of the things that are not working for you sometimes, because it's carving you out to be a legend. Thanks, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And just give you a quick prompt. That is the LinkedIn live post feed. So you get into the post your details there. Propagate what you do for a living and share it with the world. All right, and so we're going to start off going round robin. Tell us what you're looking for this week. BAM's referrals that you've done. And I think Eric looks like he's ready. So I'm going to start off with Eric and then Lana. And Eric, over to you, sir.
Good morning, Bernie. I wasn't quite ready, but that's okay. Eric Sonego from the accounting firm of Eric Sonego Professional Group. We are located in Canada. We specialize with, I would say, medium to larger businesses. We also do taxes of individuals, but as the years go on, I only do the difficult taxes. My staff takes care of what comes through the door, and I take care of the headaches. And the headache is probably someone who knows me personally and does not want anybody else to touch their file here, because of whatever reasons they have, or it's someone who does not get along with other people, and I have to intercede, or it's someone that has a very difficult tax issue that junior people cannot do not want to get involved with. Some statistics for what we do here to what we used to do. In 2005, 2004, we used to spend, I would say, 5% of our time dealing with CRA. Answering questions, sending mail, filing stuff. In 2023, 2024, we have my assistant spends 4 days a week dealing with CRA.
No way.
4 days a week, which is time that she doesn't have for doing other stuff. And the questions we get are questions that never happened before. Like when we send paper files, before the e-file requirement, when we sent paper files, if you had 50 medical receipts, the 50 medical receipts would go with it. And they would open your file and they would look at the receipts and they would add them up and they would look at the number and they would, if we did the right calculation, they would put it through. Now we send everything by e-file with no paper, no receipts, no nothing. Right? And we have people that are chronically sick, as clients. You are in their 80s and they're chronically sick and they're sicker this year than they were last year. So they're going to have more receipts this year than they had last year. We had this. We have those issues. We have issues of people who don't make donations for 4 or 5 years and then they make donations now. So all of that's happening. The computer looks at your tax, reads the picture that's there, and then precipitates a letter. And then the letter, comes to you. You might not pay any attention to it, but once you pay attention to it, you are dealing with CRA and you're calling, and then they put things in the wrong place. Then they did this in the wrong place. They did that. Your payment for the taxes went into the wrong year. All of that is what we do now. So because of that, we are, you cannot call my staff and ask for asinine stuff because they're going to be in a bad mood. So when you call the office, make sure that you remember that they have been harassed. 613-254-7310.
Are you saying there were no referrals and BAMs last week, or just a lot of CRA chats? Is
well,
CRA going to join us?
We do. We referred. I referred someone to a member of the Wednesday group, and this referral came because a guy ate me out of what I had in my office. I had those those bars, those bars for meal replacement bars, and it was about 4 o'clock. It was in my office, and he kept looking behind me, and that's in the shelf with and he said, "Can I have one?" So he brings the box over, and I had 3 left, and he ate them all. So
No, that's just like ice cream. You only got to put what you want it and then let go. Not the whole
Yes.
thing.
So what I refer them to buy them, and you know, I told him that he owes me a box. So
Yeah.
when he buys them, he'll bring me a box back. And I'm working this week with people that used to be a member of Phoenix when we had a chapter in Kempville.
Okay.
Oh, Susan McGarry is going to appreciate the extra purchases. One for him, one for you.
Yes.
And as a quick aside, before we go to Lana, is Mr. Carl Richards has a podcast training session coming up this week. So I just posted the details in the chat. And Lana, and then we will go to Josh. Lana, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning. Speaking of rodents and being unhappy, wow, it's getting colder out at night, right? And so what's happening is those rodents are trying to get into your house. I just had a beautiful house bungalow conditionally sell in Alta Vista, and it was well maintained, not greatly updated, but very well maintained. I'll tell you, we're talking things like the foundation was well maintained, the underground cast iron pipes have been removed, everything been replaced, things like that. But up on the roof where we can't see all the time, Mrs. Raccoon had been digging through the shingles and trying to dig through the wood sheathing on the top of the house to get inside the attic to have her babies. So that was discovered during a building inspection. So I know you guys aren't having building inspections on or a home inspection on your house, but it's something to look out for. If you're seeing large raccoon poops or bunny poops or mice, right? This is the time of year for mice. Check. Caulk around the sides of your steps going upstairs, especially if the concrete steps that may have separated from the house a bit. Around the deck, anywhere where there's possibly like a fraction of an inch or a centimeter, less than a centimeter, where those little pesky mice can get in. And I'll tell you, raccoons are pretty messy also. They got big poops, I'll tell you. And whatever else, moles. We were absolutely floored when the inspectors sent us pictures of the roof of this beautiful house in Alta Vista. And of course, it makes sense. It's beautiful big trees and stuff. So if you have big trees around your house, I know you do, Sam, watch what those pesky rodents are doing. Actually, you're right behind a forest, Tony. Be careful of those mice because they could be getting in. And it's about what they're doing. It's, I think they're adorable, all of them, but they're also eating through your rice. They're getting into your potatoes. They're getting into your wires. So tip of the day for your latest from Lana Burnley, your realtor, your friend, check for rodents and make sure everything is sealed up for the winter.
Lana, thank you so much. And the next shared piece of information, dog grooming, not raccoon grooming, but dog grooming. We're looking for a dog groomer. That is kind of a sought out thing. Maybe we should also look for a pest control person because that might be another good advantage because we have a lot of realtors inside Phoenix. And you know what? Odds are they're going to be something we're going to find. Josh, if you're available, sir, over to you.
Folks, yeah, I'm here. I'll happily tell you a little bit about what's going on in SGT land today. So I'm Josh. My company is Sterling Grace Tech. We are your one-stop shop for your IT needs. We deal with about half of what we deal with is managed technical support. It's anything from I don't know why my Excel sheet won't do what it needs to do, or I'm having problems with my computer, all the way up to my server it just exploded and I need backups yesterday. So, and a new server to restore them on. The other half of what we do is basically custom software development, and that includes website development, anything from a brochure website, e-commerce sites, all the way up to full automation and integration with various services. We're working on a project right now with QuickBooks Online and basically creating customer portals and creating workflow management tools so that basically the entire life cycle of a customer can be managed through an automation system. And so if you have a business and you are tired of having to kind of wing it on every individual project that comes in and just kind of be like, this is how we do things, but it all comes off of the top of your head, you can automate and streamline that process, which lets you be scalable. It lets you attract more clients and be more consistent in your delivery, be able to deliver faster, and be able to delegate more effectively. And so you can spend more time building relationships with the people that you need to build relationships with, building trust so that they want to give you their money, and less time on TPS reports, on the monotony and the burden of running a business. And so that's what we specialize in. We go in and we figure out what's going on in your business and how we can make it better, and your technology, how we can make it kind of like that, I won't say free, but inexpensive bonus employee that just makes all the right moves and doesn't need discipline, doesn't need to sleep, and just kind of gets things right for you. Right now, we're in the middle of a road mapping process for a construction company out of Gananoque, and we're looking at, they have about 8 different systems that they use, and none of them talk to each other, and there's a lot of repetition. And so we're getting QuickBooks Online, we're getting their time tracking app, we're getting their task management system, all to talk to each other through a layer that we're building in between. And we're also giving them kind of a cool new front end tool to do project management with, so that they can be better at telling their clients where they're at in their project, how long they can project it's going to take, and get accuracy where they couldn't have it before, and gauge their client expectations. And, you know, in business, I think that the biggest thing with clients is communication and consistency. And so when you improve the way that your consistency and communication works, when you can give them better updates, real-time updates with better data, that makes people happy in a way that just kind of doing what you do quietly until it's done might not. So if you want your technology to make you money instead of just costing you money, call us. I'm Josh. Sterling Grace Tech will make you profitable. Thanks.
Josh, thank you so much. I'm going to bounce over to Kat and then Shane. Kat, if you're available, go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Kat from Purple Panza Creative Marketing. I apologize, I've not been here for a while. I would like to be able to have some BAMs with you all and be able to refer to people. Just a reminder, I work in the marketing field, so I would love to help you stand out from the crowd. How's that, Bernie?
Ah, that's perfect, Kat. Excellent, excellent. And I'm going to swing back to Josh for a second. Josh, did you have any BAMs or referrals?
Not this week. I've been pretty deep in 3 different projects, and we're onboarding 2 new clients as well. And so it's been kind of a wacko time over here. So, yeah, we'll definitely set some stuff up in the next week or 2. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Thanks.
Awesome. Josh, thank you so much. Shane, if you're available, sir.
Hey guys, Shane Bill for Proaction Health and Performance. We get results, baby. But I know 2 weeks ago, you guys are very busy. Didn't see you guys, but that's okay. This is like my 50th birthday, I feel, you know, like next year's 50. You guys are planning this big hurrah to come to my concussion walk next year. So I'm glad you're saving your energy. 3rd one's the charm anyway. We'll see all you guys there that last weekend in September. Mark it off your clocks now because I probably didn't give you enough notice. Love to do that. So, hockey season starting. We're already seeing concussions coming into our facility. We have our big thing, separated shoulders, or what they call them, shoulder sprains, which are basically the same thing, just depends on the degree they're getting. Get them treated early and make sure you get them in the sling for the first couple of days. Then we kind of let the sling go so there's tension into the shoulder. Secondly, our concussion tip. So concussion tip is kids do take longer to recover from concussions. So you're looking at concussions and you have it, the symptoms can resolve really quickly. And everybody wants to get back to their sport right away. And that's something you probably should wait a little bit because research has shown that it takes about 1 month for the whole neurogenic inflammation into the brain, the metabolic processes to come through. And if you get hit in that 4 weeks, a lot of times that recovery is a lot worse. So make sure your player's getting that time to recover from it and not keep going through those injuries just because they want to play. It's early in the season. It's not playoffs. It's not that important. Get these kids rested properly and go back because you're going to be better off in the long term. Everyone heard about Brett Favre and his little Parkinson's diagnosis, which is probably not just genetics. It has something to do with probably all the hits to the head that he's taken. So be careful about that and make sure you're getting the adequate rest with that. So take your time, guys, and hopefully that'll help. Early diagnosis, early treatment really helps recover these kids. So give us a call if you have any of your sports injuries that are going on with all the turn to sports right now, and make sure you're taking care of yourself, your family, and friends. I'm Shane Mills, Pro Action Health and Performance. We get results, so send them here. Take care.
And any BAMs or referrals?
I was hoping to give a whole bunch of the concussion walk guys, but you know what? I don't have it for you. Okay, next time.
Sir, thank you so much. And we'll swing over to Jacqueline and then Sam. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
Good morning. As you can tell that Shane is busy taking a long, deep breath, lifting his shoulders, taking them back, dropping down, taking one step at a time. Interesting to hear Lana talk about critters in your roof. And when that happens, I know people are probably looking at having a roof reconstruction. However, then maybe they're looking at their basement and think there's something happening in my foundation. Maybe I should take a look because there's a lot of water leaking in my basement. When things like this are happening, and Lana said, you know what, you might want to have someone come in and take a look at your home. Maybe it's time to not just reconstruct, repair. Maybe that's something that you've always thought you wanted to do. Maybe it's an added bathroom or a hot tub. Perhaps when you're looking for strategies for that mortgage money, you want to contact your mortgage honey. And I know that I'll have a couple of those conversations as of tomorrow at my workshop called Your Next and Best Chapter. And I'm sharing the stage with Allison, who would love to be here. Mornings are questionable for her. Evenings are fantastic. So we're going to be speaking to over 50 if you're thinking about retirement, or you think you're a senior, but not really a senior. Come out and play. It's at 203 Stanley Avenue, and we're having amazing conversations about what your next steps are. Thank you.
Jacqueline.
BAM is on Tuesdays with Bernie and his team.
Perfect. Jacqueline, where's 203 Stanley? What part of the city?
Sorry, excuse me, Vanier.
Excellent.
So just off of Beechwood.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Sam, over to you, sir, and then Tony.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, like we were talking earlier, Lana was talking about her dash camera. There's a typical dash camera that I put in people's cars and that Lana's enjoying in her vehicle. Great thing to have just in case you get in an accident to prove who's actually at fault. Saves a lot of time, trouble, frustration, and money. Besides that, I do things like oil changes and brake jobs. And, well, it's getting that time that you start to consider the tire change that you're going to need come winter. So book your tire rotation time. If you don't do it at me, you might want to book it with whatever dealership you keep your tires at. I don't recommend those because that costs you a lot of extra money for nothing. But if you do, you do. Anyway, I do tire rotations as long as they are on rims, and you know someone that needs that work done, please give me a referral. And if you give me a referral, you just might win this package of a set of 4 tire covers. These are of excellent quality. I have them myself. I use them myself. It's the last tire covers you'll ever need for your vehicle because of the quality there. Yeah, there's 4 in the set, and they even have a little handle that comes with each of them that you can pick up the tires with. I have a picture here. That's an $80 value. And here's my winter tires from last spring with those on them. And like I say, they're excellent quality. You can buy cheaper ones, but I don't recommend them because they aren't going to last. Again, they're an $80 value, and you might win them with giving me referrals that turn into business with me. The contest goes between October 1st to December 31st. So the person with most successful referrals to me will win those that set of tire covers. Sam Sturz, ConnectedCars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and lots more. BAMS wise, I'm going to see Tanya Hewitt later today, former member of Phoenix. Get an oil change for her. And Dave Beliveau gave me a referral a couple of weeks ago just to do some confirm the brakes didn't need done on this Tesla. But he complained about the noise, and it's turned into business for me. I'm going to be doing a wheel bearing on that car later this week. So that Dave looks like he's going to be my lead winner of these tire covers. Sam Sturz, Connected Cars. That's
it. Tony, over to you.
Thank you, Bernie. Just before I do my thing, I just wanted to reiterate a couple of things. We're still looking for the sales you did in September for any of our members. So if you could text that to me or to Bernie, that would be great. Just to let us know so we can keep track of the sales for the group. I sent everybody a note on parking ticket scams recently. I just found out on Saturday that somebody got something on their text, and it basically said that on such and such a date, July the 31st or something, you had a parking ticket. It's $125. You can get it all paid if you pay early for $80. Anyway, the person didn't do the clicking because there is a link on there. And number one thing, even if they don't ask you for your credit card, the fact that you click the link, they could mess with your phone. They now have programs that could mess with your phone. So don't click anything. You can check with the city of Ottawa if there's such a thing exists and find out where you were on the 31st of July. That usually says it. If you were in Barbados, chances are you didn't get a parking ticket. So just be careful of that. Also, I got a note from Horace Roxborough. He's doing his New Year's ball on the 31st of December. So we're looking at the possibility of having a Phoenix table of 10 people. If anybody is interested, normally the tickets are $200 a plate. If we have a corporate table, that brings it down to half. So if you're interested in that, let us know, because we want to let Horace know. It's $100 a ticket. It's half the price. I've already got 2. My wife and I would be there. So if anybody's interested or want to dress up for for that sort of type of an event, it's usually world class. He has all chefs doing the meeting and the gourmet food and everything. So it's really done. There is a person from the Tragically Hip that will be appearing there. So it's kind of a big do. If anybody's interested, let us know to see if we're okay to fill up a table. All right. And that's that. Oh, and by the way, Shane, I really wanted to come to your walk on it, but I was in hospital with a client. I was there from about noon to about 5 o'clock, and this was a client that was in a coma 3 weeks ago, and their health was going down, and it just kept going down. And there was enough people there that knew me, and asked if I could do anything. So 3 weeks ago, I did a tuning in the hospital bed while they were in a coma, and they were on life support sort of thing with the tubular down their throat. And I was happy to find out that about a week later, they finally woke up. And on Saturday, I did another tuning, and they were breathing on their own. They had to have the oxygen on, but she forgot one night and just went through the whole night, no problems, no effects, no ill things. So she's good. If all goes well with the tuning that I did on Saturday, she's going to be released to go home on Wednesday to Friday, depending on how things she goes. So it's great to see that bodies are responding. And this is the kind of things that I do. I connect to the body. It tells me how to keep you healthy. Your body knows so much. It's amazing. It just a lot of the signs we don't see, right? If our body wants to do something, and I think Anne is going to probably cover some of this, that our body is an amazing healing tool if we let it. If we get in the way, it just has to go over those hurdles as well. But a lot of times it's very, very plain what the body wants us to do. So the other thing is a gathering. If you have these are a lot of the outboard work that I do. If you have, let's say, 10 people that you want to bring in as a party, I give everybody a reading for that day. I'm doing one for Penny Lee on the 20th. She's gotten together 10 of her friends, and they're just ecstatic for this day because it's sort of a transformational day. For me, it's a long day. I start off about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I don't finish till about 10 at night. Usually takes about 10 to 12 hours to do those. Because I want to make sure everyone walks away with a very good disposition, and they'll get insight as to how things are going on and so on. So if you know people, we can do a gathering. Tony Jennis from Higher Self, where we are here to raise your spirits.
Thank you so much.
BAM-wise, Josh, this week is the week, buddy. We're going to take care of all the things that we have that's old on our account. Eric, I'm going to send you a little something too. And I did a BAM with Penny Lee, did some business with Susan McGarry, and I'm still waiting for some meat for Dave. So we'll get to that. Thank you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. So, Bernie Fransker, Creative Insight. I'm going to rip through here because we're running out of time. And so, a couple things on the go. East Trade Winds is up and running, and we have a YouTube you can subscribe to. You can see past people's conversations. And from a band perspective, we've got talking with Shane to do setting up a demo for the C100 at his location for the Clean Shield. And also on the 24th of October, right after the in-person meeting at River Lounge, 9:30 is when we are doing a demo there with Marlon and his team, and the Clean Shield team will be there to present the hardware. So we're looking for places to promote, present, and make it happen. And something else is coming up, and if you want to know more about this, come to the East Trade Winds tomorrow at Hive. They're it's a business co-working space, but it's more than just that. But to understand it, if you're in the tech space, or you're looking for an hour-long place to work, to have a day or whatever, meeting place, that's the information at Hive. And Mohammed Faris, he goes by Faris, congenial gent, and he'll walk you around and see what opportunities are within that space. Just off of Maitland, south of it, and Courtwood Crescent is the address. And I'm going to stop talking because you know what? Our main speaker is coming up, and her name is Anne. Anne, the floor is yours, ma'am. Oh, that rhymed. Oh my gosh, too early in the morning.
Okay, so I just wondering, is there a way for me to show a slideshow?
Absolutely. You, if you have your slide presentation already launched, so in other words, you have your PowerPoint up and running, you go to the share button. And is there sound with the slides?
No, just
Okay,
me
perfect.
talking.
Okay, perfect. So just go to the share button. You'll get presented with some different options of what you want to share on your screen. You want to pick the one that shows your slides that are in full display, as opposed to the slide deck that you would have worked on. Does that make sense?
Okay. You can see that?
I can see that. You're now presenting how you work it. If you press, that's it. That's the one. That's the ticket. That's a ticket.
You're a pro.
But okay, that works. Okay. So I thought I would do a small overview of cleansing. So most of us know this, but we'll just do a short synopsis of where our toxins are coming from. So we all know about external toxins. So we've got pesticides, microplastics these days. I I heard something recently that all of us have a certain percentage of microplastics in the brain now, which doesn't sound great. Anabolic steroids that can come from our food, depending on how our animals are raised, antibiotics, all kinds of artificial sweeteners and preservatives, heavy metals in things that we eat, but also if you're older, you'll have some in your teeth. We're exposed to them through various things, including people who work in fields like fixing cars. You got solvents and chemicals, and people who do hair and do nails and all kinds of jobs where we're exposed to toxins and chemicals. So just a few ways that we're bombarded, unfortunately, these days. So I guess the bottom line here is that nobody has no toxins in their body. We all do. And so what can we do about it? We want to do probably some sort of cleansing on a semi-annual basis. That's what I would suggest anyways. So that's just reiterating a bit of what I'm talking about, and more carcinogens in the environment than probably ever. And then you get people who have chemical sensitivity. So that's a fairly new diagnosis in the last couple decades. Yeah, look at this. Chemicals, 435 billion pounds. Well, that's a long time ago. So how many are in our environment now? So the heavy metals, I do hair analysis with some patients, and it does show heavy metals. And so you kind of want to know, okay, where are some of these coming from that you can control? So cookware, for instance, are you using aluminum pots or even pots that have the non-stick surfaces? Not great. I talked about mercury fillings in the mouth, but you can have all kinds of things even in your laundry detergent when the blue color comes from something, and the dishwasher pods, there's all sorts of things that we use regularly that we don't think about, as well as our cosmetics. So endocrine disruptor. So endocrine is basically your hormonal system, if people don't know that. So our hormones can be affected. And this is well known that some of the plastics mimic estrogens, as well as DDT. Now, we don't think of DDT as being sprayed much these days because it's pretty much not used in North America, but there are loopholes where it's used as an inert ingredient, or it's used in other countries on the food that is then shipped to our country that we eat. So I do recommend, if you can, to eat locally and eat organic as much as possible. Now, internal toxins. So the other part of this is what our body is producing. So if you're not having good bowel function, or your liver isn't working optimally, et cetera, our body isn't detoxifying, and then you can have infections that can produce toxins that our body becomes sensitive to. So the stronger you are, the better your body can deal with all kinds of things. Because again, are we being exposed? Yeah, probably regularly to all kinds of stuff. So how well is your body functioning to deal with these things? So earliest symptoms of chronic toxicology: fatigue, general lack of energy, digestive complaints, muscle weakness, and poor concentration. I bet that list sounds familiar to some people. Okay, some of the most common complaints of patients. And here's a list of all kinds of symptoms: headaches, coughs, runny nose, constipation, bad breath, mood issues, sinus congestion, tight, sore neck. That's the common one I've seen with people who have food sensitivities or are eating the wrong foods, indigestion, fatigue. So I'm sure probably everybody on here has experienced one or two of those things. Reasons for cleansing. Well, you want to feel better, but also you want to be proactive at preventing problems down the road. Slow aging, have clear skin, Okay, so who should cleanse? Well, honestly, almost everybody can benefit. It may not be appropriate for those with extreme fatigue, underweight, people who are extremely cold or have weak hearts, not close to surgery, not pregnant or lactating woman. You don't want to cleanse when you're pregnant or lactating. That's not a good idea. And with cancer, there may be a few other reasons you don't, but the majority of people are safe to do at least some gentle cleansing. These are some of the main ways we detox: respiratory, of course, the GI tract, so your bowel movements, your liver, etc., your kidneys, and your skin and your lymphatics. So these are all important detox ways for the body to deal with what we're exposed to. A lot of people mainly think of liver and maybe the bowels, but you've got to make sure these pathways are working as good as possible. And these are potentially some tests that some people may want to consider. So you may want to have a liver or kidney panel. And honestly, most doctors do kidney panel as a general test, which is great. And liver, they'll do some of the enzymes. CBC is just your complete blood count. ESR and HSC are pure inflammatory markers. Homocysteine is a way to look at how well are you methylating, which is one of the detox pathways. Iron level and HbA1c is looking at blood sugar regulation. So are your blood sugar and insulin levels optimal? Okay, so timing for cleansing and detox. Again, eating cleanly is a year-long thing, but the body does have some times of year that are great for detoxing. So spring is a classic one. And I don't know if anybody has older relatives. I've seen that over the years. They come in and they tell me, oh yeah, every year my grandma used to give me this in the spring to make my bowels move. You know, it was commonly done to do a spring detox. Most of us have not experienced that, but I've heard that from many patients over the years. In the winter, it's hard to do in Canada because it's cold. So you can do gentle detox, like of course eating well and eating nice soups and cooked vegetables and stuff, but you don't want to do a major detox in the winter because you get cold while you're cleansing. Okay. When you're detoxing, of course, you're releasing some toxins, and some people will feel sick. So I know some people who, for instance, if you're thinking of fasting, because not all the detoxes are fasting, but if you're thinking of fasting, some people will, the first day they try to fast, will feel incredibly sick and may even vomit. So some people just cannot do that. So you've got to work slowly with some people for sure. So you could get headaches, nausea, vomiting, as I said. Emotional issues come up. So most people don't realize that that can be part of a detox. This is really common. The person can feel irritable or weepy or emotional. And often by the end of the first day or two, they might start to feel some detox symptoms and also withdrawal symptoms of eating junky foods if you're doing a dietary change. And actually cravings can get worse. Okay, so here's various methods. Fasting, which most people have heard of. So you could do a straight water fast, or there's different ones. Master Cleanse is quite a famous one. Homeopathic drainage. So what that is products designed to support specific drainage or detox systems. So liver, kidney, and lymph are often the classic ones. You'll see a kit which has 3 bottles that work on all these different systems. Specialized supplements. Now they got some pretty fancy supplements for detox that support detox pathways through the liver, phase 1 and phase 2. You've got gallbladder liver flushes, castor oil packs. You can do, this is an old technique using castor oil over the liver, and that's a nice gentle way to detox as well. Cleansing foot spas. These are quite interesting. Saunas, far infrared saunas are well documented. Dietary changes, there are many of them. Some diets, for instance, there's one called the metabolism reset diet, which is designed to help pull fat out of the liver. And fatty liver is actually a common issue these days, way more common than it used to be. Colonics, I don't know if anybody's ever had a colonic, but there are people in the Ottawa area who offer colonics. I don't know if people, maybe you don't even know what a colonic is, but they've got a tube that goes into your rectum and they flush out the large intestine with water. And coffee enemas, so that's a home one that you can do, whereas a colonic, you're going to a place to do that. So coffee enema is basically what it sounds like. You're using coffee and doing that at home with an enema kit. Baths, I've seen research showing that even a hot bath can help your body then pee out some toxins. Dry skin brushing, that's an old technique as well, but that helps to work on the lymph system, and it's just a quick, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and you're brushing your skin in a way that helps the lymphatic system move. Yeah, it's just reminding me, I heard a lecture from a Dr. Klinghardt many years ago. He's a medical doctor in the States who does a lot of chronic disease cases, and And he used a technique which is working with emotional stuff. And one of the interesting things they found was when these people had these emotional healings, they would actually pee out a whole bunch of mercury, which was really quite interesting. So emotional healing is part of the picture too. Okay, just a little bit on liver phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 is one of the ways that the liver starts to detoxify the toxins. However, if you don't have phase 2 working properly, there's the intermediates between phase 1 and phase 2 can be toxic as well. So you got to make sure the liver's working properly. So these are some potential nutrients that can support the first phase. So you've got vitamin C, curcumin, N-acetylcysteine, alpha-lipoic acid, green tea, B vitamins, magnesium, zinc, and milk thistle. I'm not suggesting everybody goes out and takes those, but these are things that can support those pathways. And I would say be careful. Well, I don't know if you need to be super careful, but preferably you want to get B vitamins that are in their natural form. A lot of the B complexes have synthetic B vitamins in them, which I don't recommend. Liver phase 2. So again, to avoid harmful effects caused by the toxic metabolites from phase 1. So you got to make sure phase 2 is then doing the next step, and that's conjugating and helping eliminate and neutralize these toxins. So you've got other nutrients. Again, you see there's a bunch of B vitamins, selenium, zinc, molybdenum, glycine, so a bunch of amino acids that help us to process these toxins as well. So some of the key factors, you want to make sure the bowels are moving. If you're constipated, if someone comes in and tells me I go once every 4 to 5 or 7 days, well, that's not good. Your bowels should be moving daily, okay? And these people have been told sometimes that that's normal and that's just who you are, but no, they feel better once their bowels are moving properly. Make sure the bowels are moving properly. Clean water. How many people are drinking tap water? I don't recommend that. You've got to drink at least some sort of filtered water. Good food. Are you eating clean food, eating organic as much as possible, avoiding processed foods full of chemicals and stimulants. Good kidney function. Like I said, testing could be an important thing to do before doing some major cleansing. And kidney function test, there's a blood and you can do some urine testing as well. Sweating and exercise, you got to get the lymph moving, sweat out the toxins. But the lymphatic system is one of the ways that the body clears out waste products. You've got to make sure the lymph is moving, and the lymph has as much, if not more, fluid than the cardiovascular system. And the only way the lymph moves is if you're exercising, or maybe doing some lymphatic skin brushing as well. Sunlight. I don't know if people fully realize how beneficial sunlight is. And we are living indoor lives now. So people need to consciously make the effort to get out and get some sunlight. It's incredibly important. And so this is just one little stat that, 20 minutes of being in the sun, your body starts to produce over 200 antimicrobials. But it does all kinds of things. It improves our mood. And everybody knows that it helps to produce vitamin D, but it does all kinds of other things as well. Even our cholesterol metabolism is affected by having sunlight, our circadian rhythm. Sunlight is incredibly important, so I'm just emphasizing that a little bit. Other factors, eat locally if you can, according to the seasons as a general rule. Now in Canada, yeah, nothing grows in the winter, so we're not eating just according to winter season. But as a general rule, I recommend people eat fruit that grows in Canada, for instance, not tropical fruit as much, because there was a study showing, for instance, if you ate bananas in the winter, the kidneys recognize, oh, we're in a tropical climate and it shuts down production of vitamin D. So we're not meant to be eating these tropical fruits all winter, but we have access to them now. So we've kind of created this society where we can eat almost whatever we want all year. Well, the body is made and designed to eat somewhat seasonally, okay? Eat organically grown if you can, drink clean water, which I mentioned, exercise regularly, sleep regular hours, and have electronic device breaks. And I think that's incredibly important as well. So don't have your electronic devices in your bedroom. I often recommend, if they can, which most people can, turn off your Wi-Fi at night. Give your body a break. When we sleep is when we regenerate, and part of our detox happens when we're sleeping as well. So we want to give our body a break while we sleep, because we can't avoid these things during the day, most of us. Okay, and then stress. stress affects everything. And again, stress will affect how toxic are you and how well are you able to detoxify. So do something daily to reduce your stress level, walk in nature, by water, whatever it is that you like to do, meditate, breathing exercises, prayer. Everybody has something that they prefer. Sunlight again. And this is another simple but somewhat challenging thing for people to do, is to eat in a relaxed environment. Don't look at work. Don't look at your phone. You know, try to focus on what you're doing. Be present in the moment when you eat. Maybe take a few deep breaths to change your state, and chew your food really well. Most people chew like 5 times per mouthful. Try counting to 10. That can be challenging. And this will help your food digest better because you're also relaxed, but you're breaking down the food mechanically, and it starts the digestive processes even more in the mouth. You'll find that the food tastes different if you do this and you chew 10 times or even try 15 times per mouthful, and your food will digest better, because when we're in a stressed environment or a stressed state, digestion is not a priority and you will not digest well. Laugh and enjoy good company. Okay, that's it. Any questions?
And thank you so much. Are there any questions, folks?
Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Okay.
That's all right. You just do a quick, if there's anybody has a quick question, or you know what? Even better, bam. You have a business activity meeting. What better way to bring into that conversation? Whether it's you or someone else that's not having, you know, the body's kind of resisting the flow of life, for lack of better words. So reach out to Anne and set up a BAM and clean water currently. So cool.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, great presentation, man.
I'll just tap out with the put the quote in there. An obstacle is often a stepping stone. William Prescott.